In the previous episodes, we've journeyed through the opening chapters of Genesis, diving deep into the creation narrative, the original sin, and the flood that reshaped the world. In the aftermath of this deluge, we find ourselves today in Genesis chapter 10, often referred to as the Table of Nations. It's a genealogical chapter that traces the lineage of Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So, without further ado, let's delve into the verses. Genesis 10:1 sets the stage with, "Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood." This verse introduces us to the three sons of Noah who will become the progenitors of the New World's nations following the flood. As we move through verses 2 to 5, we find a comprehensive list of Japheth's descendants. These include Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. From these sons, the isles of the Gentiles were divided each in their language, lands, and nations. This passage gives us insight into the early formation of the various tribes and nations. Verses 6 to 20 detail the descendants of Ham, including Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. These verses also introduce us to Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord, and the first to establish kingdoms on the earth. Shem's lineage, the Semitic peoples, is outlined in verses 21 to 31. It's interesting to note that from Shem's line comes Abram, later known as Abraham, a crucial figure in the Abrahamic faiths. Lastly, verse 32 wraps up the chapter stating, "These are the families of the sons of Noah after their generations in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood." This verse emphasizes that all nations sprung from Noah's three sons after the flood. So, we've journeyed through Genesis chapter 10, a chapter that often gets overlooked due to its genealogical content. However, it's essential in understanding how the post-flood world was populated. It shows us the roots of the nations and peoples that would later shape the course of biblical history. In summary, Genesis chapter 10 serves as a bridge between the flood narrative and the story of Abraham. It introduces us to the descendants of Noah's sons, who would become the progenitors of all nations. It also highlights the diversity of languages, lands, and nations that emerged after the flood. Before we wrap up, remember to hit that subscribe button to join us on this fascinating exploration of biblical text. Until the next episode, keep reflecting and keep exploring. Goodbye for now.